What's going on, folks? Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in once again for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. And today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the most important aspect of teamwork, the most crucial and vital part of teamwork, a part of teamwork that is very overlooked at the beginning, but it's marriage. Marriage is the ultimate aspect. It's the ultimate understanding of teamwork, all right? And no, I'm not married personally. However, the profession that I've been in, when it comes to the years of playing football, when it comes to the years of scouting football, coaching football, the things I do in the things I've done in the fitness world, and the things I currently do in the educator world, I've been around a lot of marriages, and I don't have time to talk to you guys all about everything, all the intricacies and all the little things that I've learned in marriage. The only thing I can only give you certain examples and make sure you're understanding how important it is to really ask yourself, is this person that I'm calling my partner, is this person that I'm calling my spouse, does this person make a good teammate? Does he or she have the empathy to really understand what I'm trying to do, and do they have the long-term vision? All right, I'll give you an example. When I first, it was probably 2 years ago now, and the Move Swiftly podcast, by the way, go and subscribe and all that stuff. I just started that out. It was around COVID, like really when COVID was hitting. I decided that I was gonna start, doing youth boxing lessons. I decided I was gonna start doing that, and the reason I came up with that idea was because of one of the members that came to the gym. I was a trainer at a gym named 9 Round, for those of you who don't know. So I started doing that because of one of the members. Me and one of the members became very good friends. I'll say that we were good friends. She was actually on the show. She was on the podcast. The title of her episode was Imperfectly Perfect. She had recommended that I read. She told me to read Brené Brown, The Gift of Imperfection, and we went and talked about that story and all that. Just became a really good friend, in all honesty, a really good person, but just has the wrong partner, she married the wrong spouse, and here's how I know why. All right, so I started doing free boxing lessons at the park, and it was pretty much her and I. She's a photographer, so it was pretty much her and I organizing everything, and she was the one that would take the photos, and I'd train and stuff like that. It was just an awesome setup, right? So I decided, she and I kind of mutually decided that we were gonna barter, and I was gonna train her daughter while she provided free pictures, free photographs from her. I don't want to put a company name out there and stuff like that. But what happened was, when I started really training the youth, when I really started pushing the youth boxing element and stuff like that, there was another member who, obviously, she found the right partner. She did. This is how I know the difference, right? So when I really started getting into it, and we really started, me going out and training kids, it was at the Plantation Central Park out there in Plantation, Florida. It was pretty much just those two. It was those two moms. If you go on Instagram and you see some of the pictures, you see it's just them two. It's Gator, Christy is her name, but her fighter name is Gator, and then it was Tiger, whose real name is Adelise. And it was just there to, like, Adelise's daughter, and then it was Christy's son. Those were basically the only two kids I had when it came to the youth boxing. Now, I picked up some other ones here and there back then, but they were the ones that really started it off. So Christy continued to, come every, 3 or 4 times a week consistently. She'd bring her son Dylan. She'd bring him consistently, right? Adelise dropped off because of this, because she had the wrong partner. And I don't really give a shit if he hears this or not, but here's how I knew, right? there were times where Christy couldn't make it. She had to work, she had to do something, and you know, she would have her husband Johnny drop off Dylan to do the boxing lessons. Right? Just small things like that. As the kind of the trainer that was from the outside looking in, okay, that's the right partner. There's a dad who wants to be involved, or there's a dad who's gonna, you know, there's a dad there who's, especially if it's, you know, something that's sports related, fitness related, most of the time the guys are the one that's there. When it came to Tiger, she was the only one, like, if the reason that she couldn't bring her daughter to the boxing lessons because she was the only one dropping her off and doing this, and the dad didn't even get involved. You know, he pretty much stayed, like, I had to go to their house to do it as opposed to me going, like, it turned into such a mess to the point where she just stopped coming. She stopped coming. So, you know, when it came to the barter agreement, things didn't work out. So it's one thing, listen, it's one thing, let me tell you, it's one thing if it's, all right, you know, she can't make it to the boxing, but it's quite another when there's kind of a business relationship between myself and Tiger that you're ruining and stuff like that. So the point, I say all that to say this, because I know I'm rambling on it, and I didn't really expect to get that fired up on this topic, but it's one of those things where I want you guys to understand the point of me going on that tangent was because when you're picking your life partner, it is not something that you can casually do. Stop just casually falling into these relationships, because it ruins everything you want to be professionally. You find yourself settling, and things will not work out for you. You will fail, you will be unhappy, and you'll find yourself, like, the kinds of shit that Tiger and I would fight over was some of the stupidest shit that you can ever fight over, like argue over some of the stupidest things. And I honest to God, I feel, to this day, I feel like it wasn't me that she was on. It was part of how frustrated she was. It was a kind of reflection of how frustrated she was in the marriage that she's in. And, you know, again, me and Gator have a great relationship, you know, great, it's professional, it's not even personal, it's just 100%, you know, all good. And it's because she has that teammate, right? She has that teammate that says, okay, look, you got boxing lessons. I want to drop him off. I want to meet this guy. I want to make sure, you know, I'm doing these little things. So again, another little nugget. I really do take a deep dive into these topics on the Move Swiftly podcast. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that. It's available on all streaming platforms. Go purchase a couple copies of my book, or my multiple books on makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. Aswand Cruickshank, one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.